There are sometimes that you're going to want to rename your variables in your data set, either because you did some merging and are named it something stupid, or you were reading in your data that you got from someone else and you just want that variable name to be something more understandable by you. Regardless, there are instances where you're going to want to rename a variable. So we're going to still work with this MT cars data set, and to remind ourselves, just what the variable names are, we're going to run a quick names function, and we can see down here again we've got these 11 different variables. And so let's say, for example, this variable right here, cylinder, CYL, maybe we don't want it to be abbreviated like that. Maybe we want it to be like fully spelled out. And so one way that we can do that is by still using this names function. I'm going to write a comment here. So rename cylinder to cylinder. Okay. And so we'll start out by saying, names df, but we're going to reference a specific column, a specific variable. And so we can count and we can say, okay, here's our first column, here's our second column. And so specifically, we are referencing column 2. And what we're going to do is assign a new name to that. So here we've got names, specifically that second item within names. And what we want that to be is fully spelled out cylinder. And so we would run that, and it's like, well, I don't see any output. Did this work? And we can just rerun the regular names function, and now we can see, oh, look, now we have cylinder rather than CYL. Okay. Something else we could do is, if we had a very short data frame, is we could rename every variable. So again, starting off here and assigning to it a series of names. I'm not going to do that here because I'm a little bit too lazy to write out 11 different names. But you would write out, name 1, name 2, etc., etc. You can do this with very small data sets. Typically, though, you're not going to go this route, just because it involves a lot of typing. Another way you can do it is similar to this. And let's say we wanted to rename miles per gallon. Miles per gallon, like that. We wanted it to look like that. So we're still going to be referencing this names df, like that object, the names of our data frame. But maybe we have a lot. Maybe we're working with 120 variables, and it's, this particular variable's, I don't know, something like 97, 98, and we don't feel like counting out there. So what we can do is, rather than referencing by number like we did here, what we can do is we can then kind of put a equivalency statement in there. So we can say, oops, I want you to look in the names data frame and select the one that's exactly equal to, that's what the double equals means, miles per gallon. So within these brackets, that's what that's saying. So it says, look at this object, this thing right here, and then I want the exact item that is perfectly equal to this. So we know our variable's called miles per gallon. We're just not sure what number it is within there. And so we reference it like this, and then we reassign the name excuse me, to miles per gallon, like that. And again, it's like, well, did that actually work? And we can just run this one again. And we see, yes, this does actually work. Well, now we have miles per gallon. We still have cylinder. And this is something else that we can now see is when the names were really short, they all fit on one line. And so we would kind of have to just count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Once you start getting multiple lines, the number at the very beginning indicates where that first thing falls. So here, miles per gallon is item 1, but VS is item 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just something else to see. And then, as with filtering, we can use the tidyverse to rename one variable, two variables, all our variables, what have you. If you're not interested in this and you're happy with these methods, totally fine. Feel free to stop the video now. But what we'll do is we'll, again, make ourselves a comment. And we're going to start. We can either do it to the original data frame or we can create a new data frame. Either one is acceptable. I'm just going to rename in place. So basically overriding it. And so what I first need to do is say, please look at this data frame. This is where I want you to look for the data. I'm using this pipe again to say, send that data frame to the next line. And then I'm going to use the rename function. And what we're going to do is put in the new name first and then the old name. And so let's say that we didn't actually like miles per gallon all written out, and we really actually just wanted that to be MPG again. And so that's what we want. And our old name was miles per gallon. And then let's say that we also wanted to rename the HP, the horsepower. And let's say, Joe, if I can spell correctly, let's say we wanted our new name to be horses, because that's what we're doing. And the old name was HP. And we could continue down if we wanted to, but we'll just stop at the 2. What I'm also going to need to do, since I haven't done it yet in this script, is call the tidyverse there to make sure it doesn't yell at me. All right, and so once that's been called, then we can run this, and it runs, and again, we're like, well, did that actually work? And we can check that by running a names df, and we can see miles per gallon is back to MPG, and HP is now horses. So 3 different ways to rename your variables. Just like with filtering and subsetting, there is no one right way. Some of them will be easier to use than others depending on your situation.